Have you ever snapped at someone you love or yourself out of nowhere? Then you just felt this instant guilt, like, where the heck did that even come from? What if I told you that anger is not random? It's a spiritual signal. Anger is one of the most misunderstood yet powerful messengers that you can have spiritually. So let's get right into this. What prompted this video is I had a wonderful client who I worked with on Zoom for a few sessions, and we really saw some great improvements once she understood this energy on a deeper level. She was a practitioner in the healing arts, and she was really making some major strides in her own healing. She was feeling really good about where she was at, where things were heading for her. But then, seemingly out of nowhere, after she had started beginning to see clients, she her client said something to her, and it really, really triggered her into this anger, something much deeper. She blew up. Long story short, she blew up on this client. And then once we began to deconstruct and decode what had happened under hypnosis, then she had realized that this was an incident that didn't just come out of nowhere. This was mirroring for her years upon years of self neglect. Has that ever happened to you? You're going about your day or evening, and out of nowhere, something seemingly very suddenly rises up within you. Maybe it's something very little that sets you off, like your day didn't quite go as you had planned for it to go, or somebody let you down. And it seems like it shouldn't be that big of a deal, but you blow up. You explode with anger, with rage, and you're fully activated. Yeah, so this anger seems to come from nowhere and rip through your day like a massive explosion. Here's the deal with this though. When stress builds up through time, whether that is because you're a chronic overgiver or you constantly have ignored your own needs throughout the years, or you pushed yourself past the point of where you know your body is screaming for rest and you feel exhausted at a soul level. That triggers your brain's alarm system, which is called your amygdala. It goes into survival mode. This becomes a very true pressure cooker of energy. If you aren't releasing the steam in small, healthy bursts, the lid is going to blow right off and explode everywhere. It's going to cause some real damage. That is why the anger feels like it's so sudden, or it catches you by surprise, like, what the F just happened? Because your rational mind is getting sidelined. Your body is saying, I've had enough. Your nervous system is saying, I've had enough. before your conscious mind even registers it. Spiritually, this hijack is a huge wake up call because your soul uses that adrenaline surge of anger to force your attention to focus on what you've been avoiding. You can't get rid of energy, right? It just forms into a different way to show you that energy. So when you look at this through a spiritual lens, you can begin to see how anger is really rarely about what's actually happening in the moment. And it's more often whatever is underneath the surface, not the thing that you blow up about. That's a delayed eruption of everything that you've ever spiritually bypassed, ever. And that can be a lot. That's a lot of energy, especially if you are one that tends to just stuff things down and not deal with it in the moment to keep the peace. Remember that you can never evade any energy or emotion if it isn't expressed out in that now moment. It either implodes into you or it explodes out onto someone else or something else in the external. And eventually, maybe even both, like in that case with my client. It's like your soul is not going to shout it at you if you are listening to it and nurturing it in those little moments. It doesn't need to shout it out at you. But if you ignore those little moments, that's how it's getting through to you. Those outbursts that are seeming like they're so unexpected are actually your spirit's final attempt to wake you up and say, wake up, pay attention, look at what's happening inside of you. That's your soul saying, you've crossed your own limits way too many times. You've betrayed yourself one too many times. The real insight here, I think, is very important to look at that the anger is not actually the problem at all. The anger is a red flag that comes up in response to all of those more subtle cues that you've ignored through periods of time. Now, this is all of the resentment that has been building underneath the surface, the chronic overgiving, the chronic fatigue, the way you have kept saying yes and overriding what your body is telling you. When your body is saying, fuck no, and you just override that, where is that energy going? It's that pressure cooker. And it has a positive intention, the anger does. Because just like any emotional expression that we work with, it's trying to get you to your highest place of power. That's where it's pushing you. Work, relationships, whatever is draining you should not cost you your boundaries, ideally. The first thing I'm hoping that this video helps you to start to understand is That if you walk away with one thing from this, is that anger is not your enemy. Anger gets a bad rap, sure. Anger is your spirit's most honest messenger in actuality. When that anger is rising up within you, that's delivering one of three spiritual truths that, I don't know, maybe you have been avoiding. And no judgment here. It's just awareness. I'm going to tell you what those are right now. So, number one is your boundaries have been breached. Okay, so when you blow up, when your coworker interrupts you, that's about something so much deeper. That is not just you being petty when you blow up on them. That is literally your higher self, soul self rejecting that energy of disrespect that you have tolerated time and time again, maybe your whole life, and then it blows up in that moment at your coworker. It's saying, I'm not going to stuff this down even one more dang time. Number two is there is a deeper need at a soul level that is really starving. So let's say that you had planned something really relaxing for yourself. Like you were going to go and take a yoga class one evening, and then you were going to come home and paint for a few hours and listen to music. And you'd been looking forward to this all day long. But just as you're leaving for your yoga class, a family member calls and says, Hey, I need you to come over. I need you to help me. So you push your yoga idea, your artwork idea off to the side and you go and help that family member. That is literally your physical body and creativity energy that was trying to come out, and you were going to let it come out, but then it gets pushed down before it can even express, and it gets put off again. Now, what is the reframe here? That is to start bringing curiosity to this and just notice it. Anger is a part of your emotional guidance system. Whenever anger comes up within you, that's a signal. Okay. So it's showing you where you have unmet needs. So if you have a deeper soul need of being an autonomous person, meaning you're very independent, something that may trigger this anger within you is being micromanaged or being told what to do by a coworker or a boss. If you have a deeper soul need of feeling deeply respected, being talked over is going to trigger that because you put up with that and you have this deeper soul need to be seen and respected. If you're feeling the pull to live your purpose and you have to continue working, doing soul crushing work, and all you want to do, all your soul wants to do is shine and live your purpose, that's going to trigger that anger. And there's nothing wrong with that. It really is just science. Once you understand what is happening here with anger, it becomes a lot less mysterious. Then you listen to it. You can decode that and you can use it for your advantage. The third thing is your power is demanding action. I wonder if you could just start to see this more as this is not just you being irrational. No, that is actually the part of you that knows that you're meant for so much more, that you deserve so much more, that you're deserving of it, you're worthy of it. And it's breaking that mold that you thought you had to fit in as this perfect spiritual person or this person that never gets upset and is always in this state of happy go lucky bliss. Well, I'm here to tell you that's not human, my friend. You're allowed to have a full range of emotions, and they all have a positive intention for you. Anger is going to be your fuel for transformation if you really start bringing curiosity to it. I remember when I was working in the corporate world for a failing radiology practice here in Fort Collins, Colorado. And I was treated like garbage by the management. And one day I had just had enough and I felt a flash of rage go through my body so powerfully. And I packed everything from my desk up and I quit. I called them out for their behavior in the team chat and I walked out the door. And I walked out of that corporate structure. In that corporate structure, what I did would have been considered acting out, or maybe like, wow, that's really not the thing to do, right? Well, was it? Because that was the last day that I ever worked at a traditional job. And that was the catalyst for me actually stepping into my private practice, which is my soul's purpose, helping people. I had reached my edge, and that rage let me know it so strong that I couldn't fake it anymore. And since then, I've been able to help countless people here in town where I live, all over the globe, on Zoom and phone. And it really mobilized me to action because I had to make my purpose work. I had burned that bridge. So you see how your anger might seem like something very negative. Your anger might seem like chaos, but it really is not chaos at all because your anger is actually clarity in the most raw form possible, the most real form of clarity there even is. But you have to stop ignoring it. The question just becomes, are you going to punish yourself for exploding and having anger, or are you going to honor What inside of you sparked that? And are you going to let it guide you to where your soul really knows you can be, to your highest level of actualization? So now, what do you do about it? Here is how you can alchemize your anger into your superpower from now on. Let's do it. Number one, so I want you to tune into your body right now. Close your eyes if that feels good. And I want you to just ask yourself, where have I abandoned myself this week? Where have I abandoned myself this week? Just think about the last week. Really feel into this. Pause the video if you need to. Really, 80% of anger is self betrayal, saying yes to things that you don't want to say yes to, staying quiet when you really needed to speak up. Feel into this. So, as with all of this deep soul work, you get out of it what you put into it. So, if you want to take this a step further, write this out in a journal, pencil it out. What recent situation made your stomach clench up with resistance? And what boundaries are you ignoring in your life? Number two, channel the charge of energy. So that's the power of that energy. But you can channel that to use it for your advantage. This can be done through physical somatic release. So if you were to just shake your body for 30 seconds and even get weird with it, just shake your body up for 30 seconds, it's literally going to move energy through and out. Emotion is motion, or motion is emotion, whatever the saying goes. And remind yourself that this anger is not here to burn you. It's not here to ruin your day or ruin your life. It's here because it's taking you to higher levels of who you're really meant to be. And if you're answering that call, it's helping you. The only thing it's not helpful for is staying asleep. But that's not what you came here to do. You came here to really be the best you could be. So, what action is your anger demanding that you do today? Honor it. An example of this here is when I left my corporate job. I was angry. And instead of wallowing in what happened and beating myself up, I used that as fuel to finally go full time in my healing work. After 4 years of my healing practice being open, where I had one foot in and one foot out because I was too afraid of the unknown to take that leap. But the anger pushed me into that. And I'm so grateful for that now. Number three is the 24-hour soul test, as a wonderful teacher and colleague calls it. So, what is this? This is pretty dang simple. And this is to wait one full 24-hour cycle, one full sunrise before you react to something. Give yourself time to feel all of that anger and energy that got activated. And then revisit it and ask yourself, what is the most loving thing that I could do for myself and others in this situation? People that are very evolved and astute vibrationally don't transcend anger or sidestep anger. They transmute it. Rage built entire revolutions. Rage built the pyramids. So what is it? What are you going to allow it to build in your own life? That's the inquiry here. And it's a really fun one. Once you have that perspective shift, you're not broken. Nothing's wrong with you for feeling anger. That's just guiding you to express, to experience. So I hope that helps give you some perspective today. And I hope your soul had a remembrance right now that anger is not bad. It's just your spirit's way of fighting for you. The question is, are you going to listen to that before it has to scream at you? And I hope you can. And if you don't this time, then forgive yourself and do it better next time. Like Julia Child says in the kitchen, if you drop the lamb, just pick it back up. That's all. You got this. There's so much richness in each and every soul on this planet. And what makes you think that you are an exception? You're not. You are brilliant. So there's so much deep within you just waiting to be fully seen, heard, honored, and loved. Now, if you're ready to go deeper with this, I help high vibrational seekers just like you to heal the roots of these patterns, to heal the roots of these emotional cycles so you can lead, deeply heal yourself, help others heal, and create from your full soul alignment. Just email me the word anger and I will know what's up and we can get started. And maybe we'll just have a chat and see where you're at and how you're doing. Well, I hope that helps today. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you'd like the video, share with a friend who has been dealing with this recently. Watch it again if you need to, save it for reference. Because I'm telling you, it's going to be so sweet on the other side of this understanding once you get it deep into your cells and you know what your anger is really there for. So, lots of love. There's no need that you need to keep suffering. Talk soon. Have a blessed day.